Hey VC, welcome to the personal oasis. This is the Blind Island, and today we are going to be doing something that I see going on a lot in the VC, which is showing off a bit of people's recent acquisitions into their personal collection. And I want to kind of join in on that because I think that's a great way for you guys to get to know a little bit more about our taste and also to get to share a little bit more of that vinyl love. So let's get started. Right now, what we're listening to on the personal oasis is this Armageddon, self-titled. Got turned on to this by Dylan at Noble Records. Absolutely banging psych prog rock from the 70s. Definitely suggested, probably do a review of that. Gonna put this over here, and then we'll get back into the rest of it. Soft Machine Third was never really into Soft Machine, but went to Video Game Exchange in Madison, and what an amazing album this turned out to be. Great jazz prog rock. Highly recommended. Soft Machine Fourth, found at the same exact spot as Third. This is the follow-up to their third album, and even more so on the jazz bent than Third. I really enjoy it, not quite as good as Third, still very enjoyable. Screamin' Jay Hawkins, What That Is. Great album. Found this at Mad City Music in Madison, Wisconsin. Check it out. Mishima, the soundtrack to the feature film by Philip Glass. Great stuff. Excellent orchestral album. Really good. Swami John Reyes and the Blind Shake, Modern Surf Classics. Got this from where I work, Strictly Discs. And this is an absolute banger. Just wonderful, introduced by a good friend of mine, and highly recommended to any fan of surf rock. Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers Drum Suite. This is one of the earliest attempts at Afro-Cuban music that and Afrobeat that was ever done, and I will most likely be doing a review on this because it's so interesting. Frank Zappa and the Mothers, Roxy and Elsewhere, one of the best live albums ever made, and an absolute recommendation. Muddy Waters, After the Rain. This was cut after his psychedelic experiment, Electric Mud. It definitely has some elements of psychedelia still swirling in it, but it's a lot more focused, and I highly recommend anyone who's into hard blues to check out this great album. Joe Farrell, Moon Germs. What an amazingly beautiful modal fusion album. Joe Farrell is a treasure, joined with Herbie Hancock, Jack DeJohnette, Stanley Clarke. Really recommended. Check it out. Joe Farrell, Penny Arcade. Wonderful funk fusion. Check this one out for a great instrumental experience. Bob Seger System, Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. Pick this one up at Strictly Discs, and it also is an original Capitol. Very difficult to come by these. You should definitely find a copy. The Residents, not available. This is a record that should be in any fan of avant-garde experimental rock music. These are the granddaddies of them all. Anyone who has ever had the impulse to cover their face while they're performing music was influenced by the Residents. Check them out. Laurie Anderson, Big Science. Pick this one up from B-Side Records in Madison, Wisconsin on State Street. This is the avant-garde rock album of the 80s, was a huge hit, and she was the wife of the late, great Lou Reed. I highly recommend you check this one out. Herbie Hancock soundtrack to the feature film Death Wish. I'm a huge sucker for funk and blaxploitation films, and this one has a little bit more orchestral than I was hoping it was going to be, but definitely funky in all the right places. Gene Ammons, Sonny Stitt, and Jack McDuff all meet on this record called Soul Summit on the Prestige label. It's on the original stereo. Love that silver label. Only $1. This is one of those that you can pick up very cheap. Definitely pick it up. Ryo Kawasaki, 8 Mile Road. Japanese fusion. Wonderful stuff. His album Juice has recently gone through the roof as far as price is concerned. This one you can still pick up for about $8 to $12. Highly recommend you do so before the rest of his discography goes through the roof. David Holland Quartet, The Conference of the Birds. This is a seminal free jazz album. Not many people really like free jazz, but for those who are looking to dip their toe into it, this is a great starting point. And maybe my favorite pickup of late is this Velcro Lewis Group, Open the Sky. Wonderful record, terrible album artwork. It sounds like Sly and the Family Stone meets Hawkwind, and I'll probably be reviewing this shortly. Might include it in the top 5 under 5 of worst album covers with the best music inside. So that was it, guys. What did you think of our recent finds? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I hope you have a great day on your own personal oasis. Cheers.